Hey there, everybody. Sean Malone, Justin Perry, Crisis Response International. It's about 5:30 p.m. Friday, July 5th. I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday yesterday. Our team, we've been working around the clock.
Absolutely.
You know, really no rest in the midst of this. We have been trying to get this deployment off the ground. I have some really important updates in terms of what we're going to be doing, who we're going to be partnering with. But first, I want to just kind of go over, just for a few moments here, some of the impact. I just don't think that people understand the sheer gravity of what this unprecedented, historically early hurricane did to the Lesser Antilles, to the Grenadines, and to Grenada. It's profound. I mean, we don't see hurricanes that hit the United States that have this level of desperation. And guys, this is already out of the news. People have forgotten about it already. But in Myro, which is the island that we're going to be working in, landing at least first, we know we have great partnerships on the ground there. We're going to be staying at the YWAM base there in Myro. Again, this is in St. Vincent, the Grenadines. Myro, population of 300 people. This is a tiny, tiny little island. 90% of the housing has been, the roofs ripped off, destroyed, everybody affected, no running water there on the ground, and it's just tremendous need. Union Island. This is a next island down. It's about 3,000 people, absolutely extensive damage. 98% of the buildings included houses badly damaged or destroyed. The airport tower is destroyed. The power plant is down. Petite Martinique, 80% of the houses and buildings extensively damaged. This is another island a little bit out to the east. 900 people affected greatly there. The majority of the island is just, sheltering in place, but people don't want to leave. What you have to understand, what I'm hearing is people don't want to leave their homes. It's raining. No roof, there's no water, there's no resources there. Kanyuan, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 100% of the island's population of 12,600 people absolutely impacted. 90% of the houses damaged or extensively or completely destroyed. In Carriacou, Grenada, the total population is 6,000 people. Significant devastation there. The majority of the buildings and the homes there, extensive damage. Communications are down, power out. It's bad, guys. It's bad all around. I just wanted to put this out there in front of you so you can kind of connect and understand. Most people don't even know where these islands are, and there's just such a significant call with this. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but.
Yeah, this is what we do. This is the time for us to do what we do. We were praying this morning, and we were just bringing it all before the Lord and just saying, God, we're going all in on this. We have been working around the clock. We want to see the Lord move. We want to see people's needs get met. And as we were praying, one of our team members prayed out this verse out of Ecclesiastes, and I had literally just opened my Bible.
You held up the verse. Bible on the Zoom screen.
I was literally like, I just opened right here. It's the verse out of Ecclesiastes 11:1. It says, "Cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days it will return to you." And we're just praying into, what we're sowing and praying into those who are called to be a part of this. Who, it's going to take those who are going to sow into this and say, "Hey, I'm going to spend the money for a plane ticket and do what it takes to get there," and just trusting that it is so worth it, giving all that we've got to go and serve these people, because the Lord is going to absolutely bring a return on those things. And then just a couple verses later, there's a verse that I had memorized, and it just so happened to be right next to there, which is about how farmers who watch the wind and watch the weather in the sky, they will never sow and they will never reap, because they're waiting for conditions to be perfect, or they're waiting for something that makes it easier or just makes it more ideal for them to go and sow or for them to go and reap. And the point of the verse is, no, it's time to sow now. It's time to reap now. we don't want to wait for, what would we wait for? It's like it's time to go now.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a harvest. We're going to see the Lord do something amazing. And so I felt like the Lord was really breathing on our prayer, and then some really cool stuff happened actually as we were praying.
Yeah, it really did. And that passage of scripture actually opens up. Who knows when disaster comes, or who knows when the conditions are going to be right? And so often we can get locked down in, well, I don't know about my job, or I don't know about this. Guys, if you ever start in terms of like giving or responding out of the natural circumstances, most times you're going to just disqualify yourself from the historic exploits and good works that God has prepared ahead of time for you. Guys, all I know is that this is a moment to engage. I feel personally that this is the most critical assignment and deployment that we have to date. There's a weight on this. There's a warfare and a resistance that we're encountering, and we're seeing the battle. You guys aren't seeing this. We're seeing the battle with just trying to get the word out and fighting the holiday and the disconnection there. And guys, people don't have food. They don't have water to drink. People need to hear the gospel. They need to, I was just telling Justin a minute ago, even about this video, the making the video, this is about that person standing somewhere in an island who's on God's heart at this moment, and you and I get to play a part of that. Like you and I, like you're putting your hand up in the air and say, Lord, I don't know how, but I'm willing. And you give him, give him the yes, let your yes be yes, your no be no. You give God something to work with, and then we get to see this divine plan unfold just with a willing heart, being a willing vessel. But this is such a key moment. God's invited all of us into this. There's huge need like I've never seen before. This is one of the worst hurricanes I think I've ever seen. And the desperation is absolutely off the charts. But we were praying this morning, and guys, I'm just going to tell you, the finances are so incredibly tight. I don't know where the giving is, and I know normally people don't start giving until we're on the ground. I will be on the ground on Sunday. The advanced team, me and another guy, will be there. But we were putting this trip together. There was just a misunderstanding. This guy hasn't deployed with us before, really dialed in, 9 combat tours or something like that, cry responder. He misunderstood. He thought we were paying for the trip, which we don't do. We're all a volunteer organization, which, by the way, you can raise funds for your deployment. We'll help you do that. We'll give you information and links to all of that. Anyway, and so suddenly, we went from a 2-man team to a 1-man team. We just couldn't do it, and that's not how we work. We don't do that. We can't pay for people's trips and stuff like that. Now, donors can partner. Yeah. And so we were just like, we had hit several different obstacles. We had some changes on the ground, some setbacks, and warfare's been intense. And then suddenly, as we're on a Zoom prayer call and we're shouting, just, God, we know you're sending us.
Well, first you said, we got to shift. This isn't even a time to pray. We need to start decreeing what God has said. We need to start decreeing the word of the Lord over this deployment. And it was right as we began to decree, seconds later.
I got a text from a really well-known responder, and they said, hey, here's X amount of dollars. Do whatever you need to do with it. And it was exactly enough money to be able to cover this person's flight. And so
it was literally like this person who said, we can't go on this one, but we're going to cast our bread upon the waters. It was really an illustration of what we had just prayed.
It really was. And so, and the other thing with that, there was a Nate and Christy Johnson word that went out today that was so encouraging to us, and hopefully for you too. You can go look it up. But it was about watch for the one domino fall, and then all the rest are going to fall. And so we've had days and days of confusion and warfare and resistance. We're just trying to help people. We're just trying to get boots on the ground and just trying to get people motivated and believe that they can go and raise money and buy resources and stuff. And anyway, we believe the first domino has fallen, and then all of a sudden we started to see all of these other breakthroughs, and I pray and hope that upon you as well today. But you got one more scripture verse here too, right?
Yeah, and we want to invite you to be praying this with us. This is out of Psalm 97, verse 1. It says, Yahweh now reigns as king. Let everyone rejoice. His rule extends everywhere, even to the distant islands, the islands of the sea. Let them all be glad. This is like exactly what we're believing that we're going to see. We're going to see the rule of God extend to these distant, difficult to get to islands. We're going to see the Lord move. We're going to see him show up. And so join with us that he will send us to extend his rule, to bless people, touch people, introduce people to him, and of course meet practical needs.
Yeah, what an honor to go to this group of people, these islanders, and like demonstrate God's love and serve and be there in their worst moment. I'm so blessed with that. I do want to let you guys know that the first wave will be on the ground this Sunday. I'll be there for about 10 days. Wave 2 is going to be the 10th, so July 10th through the 22nd. And so just to let you guys know, if you're interested in deploying, send an email to deployment@criad.com. And I believe we got that second wave up registration up on the webpage now. It gives you dates. All you got to do, first thing you do is apply. Even if you're kind of like, I don't know how this is all going to work, take a step of faith and do it. And then the team will work with you. They'll respond quickly to you, and they'll work out the details with you. They'll explain the whole process to you. And then lastly, I also want to say, guys, this is going to be a rough deployment, meaning we're not going to be in an air-conditioned building. You're going to have water filtration. We're going to be camping. You're going to have to be self-sustainable. I mean, this is high-level stuff here. This is the real deal. And so just make sure that if you're coming, you're going to be ready for camping in a tropical environment. It's going to be warm. It's going to be buggy. A lot of uncertainty. Communications are going to be spotty. We'll have Starlink down there. But we're just trying to give you a full picture so you guys can make a decision. But again, just slip your hand up in the air. Even if you have an inkling, your heart to move. If you can't go, maybe fund somebody who can go. If you don't want to do that, you don't know anybody who you can pay for. Guys, we desperately need cash donations. We have to buy everything, bring it in on airplanes, or buy it in St. Vincent's when we get off the plane before we get on the ferry. I know that we need a lot of tarps. That's one of the biggest needs. We need nails, we need tools. A lot of that stuff we're not going to be able to buy here. We're going to have to buy it on the ground. We need cash on hand, and we just don't have reserves sitting around right now. So we really need generosity. I can't stress it enough. We can't do this without you guys. So take a moment and just quiet yourself down and say, Lord, what do you want me to do? Just respond to the Lord. And hey guys, we're so grateful for all of you. So
absolutely. Yes, we want to encourage you to click the link if you're interested in this trip. Check out the information, see if the dates work for you and if the Lord's calling you to go. And if not, that same webpage you can give if you want to be a part of it in this way. But pray with us that God's going to do something awesome.
Yeah, and we'll have additional waves opening up soon. As soon as we can, logistically, we'll do that. God bless you guys. Hey, thank you for taking the time to watch this. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.